drinking some coffee in a 2020 Volvo V60. So, if you know me, you know that I really like station wagons. I'm in one now. I love these things. I did an interior review. You'll see a link to that right below. This is a very well done, very nicely refined car. What we're looking at is the high-end model. This is the cross country with all-wheel drive. Runs around, let me see what the price tag is. Runs around about $57,000 delivered. For that, though, you're getting a beautiful car. Lots of great stuff, tons of tech, including safety and driver aid stuff. All the signature Volvo, everything's beautiful interior, very comfortable. Everything you could ask for in a luxury station wagon or European estate, depending on how you want to put it. Sounds cooler to say estate if you're here in the U.S., but really, it's a wagon. So, lots of good stuff to go over with this car. I've highly enjoyed it this week. It's been a great family car. All three kids fit in the back just fine. Good sized cargo area. Lots of pluses with this car. Drives well, everything else. So let's go over some specs. So to start with, this is using a 2-liter turbo, direct injected engine, and an 8-speed automatic. Wonderful setup. The turbos don't take too long to kick in, and they're smooth, so there's not, it's not jerky, it's not herky, and the transmission does a good job of working with that. Then all of that is producing 250 horsepower at only 5,500 RPM, so it doesn't take too much to get to that, and 258 pound-feet of torque for those who care, and that comes really early at 1,500 RPM. So the torque is what matters in this car. That's why it feels so smooth, because the torque is kicking in, it's ramping up and kicking in fairly early in the game and then staying there the whole time, which is why this car feels so confident. It gives you plenty of power to get moving, and that's really where it's at with a car like this when you're driving around. I really like the drive mode settings, been putting it in dynamic a lot, great drive modes. So it has all the stuff you can imagine, like hill start assist, what else? Stability control, all that stuff. All-wheel drive is good. It's not the best. I wouldn't off-road with this or anything, but it's really good in inclement weather, which is basically what it's made for. It also gives it lots of stability in corners and other things that just add to the drivability of the car on the daily. This particular model in the cross country is equipped with the big 12.3-inch screen. You'll see that in the interior review. I got really a little more in depth with it, but it's a wonderful screen, easy to see. You'll see it on the interior photos, but really watch the interior review to get more info on it. That does include Android Auto and a lot of other stuff. I also like the virtual gauge cluster in this. You'll see that again in that interior review. Get more info on it. But it's very clear, easy to see, and everything is adjustable. Really nicely done. I really like that. Every safety thing you can imagine is in this car, which is good. Now, for people looking at this, what you're going to be looking at are things like performance, which I went over. 250 horsepower isn't shabby at all for a car like this. And again, all the torque comes early, so you get really good torque, which is what gets you going. It's rated at 25 miles per gallon combined on the city highway combined. The combined EPA numbers are difficult for anybody to achieve because the mix is so precise, and almost nobody drives that perfect mix. But you can go off the city and highway mileage and test those and see. Because it's turbocharged, the altitude here didn't change things much. So it's rated at 22 in the city. I got slightly lower than that. I was closer to 21. And on the highway, it's rated at 31. I got better than that. I was getting close to 33. It was getting about, I would just call it 32 and a half, but it's a really good number. And again, that's at fairly high speed and high altitude. We're at 6,400 feet here. So it's at high altitude, and high speeds. Our freeway speeds are 80 miles an hour, and I still manage just fine to get almost 33. So 32 and a half is what I'm calling it. That's basically what there is. This is a wonderful car, feels really good, drives really well. Just a great vehicle from Volvo. Yeah. So again, check out the interior review down below, the link down below, to get a little more info on the car. This is just sort of my impressions, and then some data on the daily drive aspects of the car. For a full interior review, click that link, and you'll get a lot more information about what's in the car, including the beautiful wood inlay and all the other stuff that's in this car. So there you go. This has been Aaron.